Hi, I'm Jody Asbell Clark. I'm the professor for Astronomy 1010, Life in the Universe. And although we probably won't meet, I'll be your professor for this next 13 weeks and the online course. Just to give you an overview, there's basically three components to the course for grades. There's discussions, assignments, and a term paper. I used to use the textbook Life in the Universe by Bennett and Shostak, which is a great text, but it is quite expensive, and I'm not convinced that people were buying it anymore. And there's a lot of material on the internet, so I've revamped the course this semester to take advantage of all the free materials on the internet. I've given you a good sample for each of the topics, but also it's your responsibility to use the material out there, vet it to filter it for scientific accuracy, and use that as evidence in discussions that you're going to have along the way and in your assignments in making scientific arguments about life in the universe. The whole course is really about making scientific arguments. People in this class have very scientific backgrounds, so I don't expect you to come with a whole lot of content, although if you have some, that's great. It really enriches the course. What I really want to see is that you're using the information that you find and your classmates find out there, and using critical thinking to see what is scientifically valid evidence, and then using that to make arguments about whether or not we may find life out there in your lifetime, where we should look for that life, what that life form might look like, how it would survive, what are the probabilities of that, and what methods we use. All that will be covered in the course, and hopefully you will contribute to that learning. So I mentioned there's discussions. They're about 33% of the class. Every session is a week or two long, and the discussions take all 2 weeks to play out. You shouldn't just post your stuff and then go away at the last minute and post all your responses. Treat it like a discussion where you'd post some stuff, you'd wait for other people to respond, you'd come back, you'd respond a little bit more, you'd wait a little bit more, come back and respond a little bit more. Do that three, four, 5 times during the 2-week session and get a back and forth. That's what I'm looking for. And also, what the requirement is to have one article posting in the first half of the session, and then have a bunch of responses within the first and second part of the session, up to 6 responses. Many people have more, that's great. I need 6 substantive responses for a 10 out of 10 grade. And when I say substantive, that doesn't mean, hey, great article, do you think there's life out there? Or, wow, that's really cool, what do you think that means? That's very nice, and you can do those, but that's not a substantive post. I'm talking about when you pick some information out that makes it obvious that you read the article, you retrieve some questions, you maybe even go out and find some more information on another scientifically valid site to further the discussion, and you have some back and forth like that. So that's what I'm looking for, real rich conversation, and the posts that you contribute that are like that will get graded, will count towards your grade. Also, although I know there's lots of people from lots of backgrounds here, which is great, this is a science course, so that's the point of view that all arguments should be based upon. And if you really need, it's a very discussion-rich and text-rich course, so if you can't communicate well in English, you'll need to get supports to be able to do that, because posts that are not able to be understood because of English, be it because it's text language and I can't even understand it, or it's not understandable as English, that won't be able to count either, just because we need to be able to understand it to have it contribute to the conversation. I think that's the assignments are graded by a TA. They're all listed. Everything that you need to know in the course is out there now. You can go look at all the pages. All the assignments are out there now. All the discussion topics are out there now. And the assignments, there's 3 of them. They contribute to a third of your grade. And then there's a term paper. That's the final third of your grade. And assignments are graded by TA. I grade the discussions and the term papers. So that brings me to my last point about plagiarism, and I hate to have to bring this up, but it's a big thing, and I can't stand it. So I have a lot of checks in place that do catch when people use old assignments or use other stuff. I now have things in place for trying to figure out when people are buying their papers, which why do you even go to university if you're going to buy your papers from other people? Anyway, no, I will prosecute to the umpteenth percent if I can prove that somebody has plagiarized, which I do collect a lot of evidence and do make that case. So just don't do it. Let's just not even go there. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste anybody else's time of me having to talk about it anymore. Let's just not go there. Thanks. I hope you guys have a great time in the course.